So now I will be sharing something less numbers, more on just me talking. I wouldn't be asking you all to write questions, all the stuff lah. I will give me a minute. Okay. Okay. So this is what I'm sharing. Okay. You all can ask your question after this because to be honest, this is going to be very short. It's not going to be very long. I'm just going to explain to you what I know about connected cars and so give me a minute. Okay, so connected cars ecosystem, right? I'm not sure if anybody knows about this. I just it was through my research through 5G that I came across connected cars, and then I found that it's a very interesting sector to look at. So let's just move on. So before that, as usual, there will be disclaimer, right? Anything I say in this, any companies I'm sharing, I'm not advising you all to buy. And it's US market now, so I'm not expecting you all to just buy now. Please do your own research as well. Okay. So a bit about me. So this is my best picture that I think Jonathan shared as well. This is my best picture, so I don't look that well right now. So anyway, I call myself T.U.B. So it's because it's easier to search, right? You type T.U.B. investing, I probably be on the first link on the Google, right? So that was how T.U.B. comes about. So y'all can call me by my name as well. I'm Terrence. So I have my own blog and YouTube channel. It's called T.U.B. Investing. Y'all can find that as well. So basically, I'm also a co-founder of Fundamental Scorecard website, which is going to be launched soon. I thanks everybody for waiting. For those that know about it, we also have Jonathan and I. We knew, like I said at the start, we knew each other through this Fundamental Scorecard Telegram group. So if anybody is interested later, we can share the link in the chat as well. So y'all can join the chat group, and then you all can just discuss about anything in the chat group. So anyway, without further ado, let's just talk about connected cars. Firstly, I think if you all look at connected cars, right, don't think about how Singapore cars, you all drive from Toa Payoh to Ang Mo Kio, you want connected cars, please. Yeah, come on, right? There's no way to enjoy the benefits of connected cars, right? You all must think overseas. For example, I went to Middle East before. For the Orchard Road, for the stretch of Orchard Road, right? In Middle East, right, in Dubai, right, you can actually require about 2 hours just to from maybe Ion all the way go until maybe 313. Maybe no 2 hours. 2 hours is too much. Probably 1 hour. So connected cars in Dubai at that point in time, I really love it. Right? I want entertainment at the start at my feet and stuff like that. In US, right, people go for long drives and stuff like that. Right? Singapore, please, you drive from one end to the other end, probably 2 hours. Probably that's it, right? 2 to 3 hours. So forget about how SG companies look at cars. SG Singaporeans look at cars. The cost of a car is very expensive. If you go to US, it's relatively very cheap there. So and all this traffic light and stuff. So that's the first thing. Forget about how Singaporean drives and stuff like that. So I just want to explain why I'm interested in it, right? Firstly, I've always, on my Telegram group, I was talking about I'm looking at the 5G, 5G. So in that sense, 5G connected cars is a 5G extension. And right now, right, there's this hype of self-driving. Tesla, Waymo, and stuff like that. Everybody is focused on self-driving. But actually, if you look into connected cars, it's a much bigger TAM than self-driving is part of connected cars. And if self-driving actually become the norm, right? Connected cars addressable market will be much more bigger, right? So McKinsey actually stated that it's about 500 million, apologies, 500 billion by 2030. There are other figures given by other researchers. So it's stated to be 160 billion by 2023, then about 250 million by 2025. So So as I believe, as they believe self-driving will become the norm, right? Connected cars addressable market will increase, right? So that's why I'm interested in this connected cars uh, industry. So what is really a connected car, right? So in simple terms, it's just a car being connected. So it's very simple. Right now, everybody just driving your normal cars. There's nothing connectivity within the car itself. But you can, as you see how the car industry is moving, there's navigation. Your mobile device can connect to the car, and then there's information shared across and data being put from the car. If you don't know, actually, the data being put into, for example, Grab. Grab will know where you go and everywhere. All this, that how they do all this, because there's connectivity from their drivers to them, right? So it could be done over mobile system as well. But in future, right, when I research this industry, right, what OEM cars seller are trying to sell is that eventually your cars are going to be your personalized uh, devices. It's going to be so connected that you probably don't need a smartphone if you go into your car. That's how the ecosystem is being built around, right? So all the Ford, BMW, that's how they're trying to entice people to buy their car. They're trying to make it better, stand out from the other competitor through connectivity, through the software given, through compatibility of the software, of how it's going to be connected in the future and stuff like that. So that's how they're trying to sell. And if that's how they're selling, right? So they this market will eventually be driven into that form of marketing and sales and marketing structure by the OEM themselves. So just I spoke about the car being eventually the smartphone, right? So if you look at the smartphone ecosystem, currently there's iOS, there's network, there's the cloud, there's the infrastructure, there's the third-party apps and stuff like that, right? And there's the devices. So the device is the phone itself. So for cars, similarly, the device is the car itself. But what they intend to do to the car, the OEMs, is they intend to make it personalized, which is similar to the phone. They will have basically they will have a in-vehicle infotainment system. They will have maybe apps in their infotainment system as well. There will be telecommunication. You can use your, I mean, right now even you can use your car to contact your loved ones and stuff like that on the go. But in future, that's how they intend to even make it more connected. Probably you don't need your phone if you get into your car. That's how OEMs are selling, are trying to market this car out there. And then so that's how I see this ecosystem between the connected cars, which is similar to the smartphone ecosystem. And if you know how the smartphone ecosystem has gone through the years, right? It has been building up and stuff like that. So I believe that's where eventually this ecosystem of the connected cars will become, right? So I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the chat group right now, so I know there are some questions. I'll discuss it later as well, right? So yeah, my presentation is quite short, so don't worry. So anyway, I'll just talk about some of the companies in this ecosystem. If you look at it, right, there's apps platform, there's the apps itself, there's connectivity providers, automotive OEMs, tier 1, tier 2 suppliers, software services, and there's semiconductors. You can't escape all this. So one of the main thing is that you see that there's a lot of things here, and then at that point in time when I was looking through this, I don't want to get into the automotive OEM, because I'm not interested in capital intensive business. Tier 1, tier 2 suppliers, similarly, they are just a supplier, their margins are slow. So I'm trying to find out where's the money. And then if anybody remember in my chat group, right, Calvin actually said before, right, platform is where the money is, right, building a platform. So so as I research after, before what he said, I think it adds on to this point that I think I wanted to focus on the platform, right? because after looking through everything, you realize that, and after comparing to the smartphone ecosystem, right, you realize that the most profitable part is where, you know, Android and iOS actually dominates, right? It's the platform itself. It's where the the operating system of the smartphone is, right? And that's where all the monetization opportunity, or that's where all the money is, right? That will eventually drive future growth. And when self-driving, imagine when self-driving becomes the norm, right? How all this eventually is being marketed or trying to be marketed to the public is that the idea of having a co-pilot when you are in the car, right? So when you're in the car, you want to talk to somebody, you can talk to the system, and the system can bring you to a place. You can tell them to play music with a few words and stuff like that. So that's how this connected cars, this idea of connected cars, this idea of self-driving becoming a norm, and then how a co-pilot can help you can even entertain you and helps you to move around. And in army, right, you have VCOM and stuff like that. When a driver is driving, there's a VCOM. So it's like having a person that's with you in the car that's assisting you. It's like Iron Man having Jervis, right? You know, helping him along the way as an assistant, right? So that's how connected cars is trying to use this platform as the main source of marketing. No, as a main source of I would say as an personal assistant to the driver. So just some sharing that actually the big companies are already involved: Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Microsoft is actually having this Microsoft Car Connected platform. Amazon as well. Amazon is not really having a platform itself, but it's actually partnering with many companies to just use their Alexas to do this to be the personal assistant, right? So one of the main thing right now I want to point out is that Tesla themselves, I think their software cannot, if I'm not wrong, anybody can just correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think their software can be used on other cars, right? They're only used for Tesla. So Tesla itself has their own software. So I'm not sure whether Android Auto or Apple CarPlay can be used on Tesla, but that's how some of the that goes to my next point, where for this platform, right, there's an obstacle, which is the car manufacturer. Similarly, if you look at smartphone, right, if the Huawei event, right, actually doesn't allow and is trying there was this event where you know, Google was being actually, I'm not sure, I think it's US banning the Huawei of using Android, right? So Huawei had to come up with their own Play Store and stuff like that. So similarly in this ecosystem, right, the main obstacle for this platform being used more often, right, is the car manufacturer, is the device OEM, car OEMs. They have a lot of choices right now, because right now there's a lot of infotainment companies out there. And these companies, these car manufacturer OEMs, right, they want their own systems. So for example, if you look at BMW iDrive, you know, the Fiat has FCA Connect, Mercedes has NUBX. You know, they want to rename it as their own. Although if they don't want to say that I'm using Android Auto as a system. So these are one of the obstacles that I see. And they often design it as my system is compatible with CarPlay or Android Auto. So this makes it a bit they just don't want to say, you know, I can only use I'm using Android Auto as the infotainment system, because they don't want to bang on them. They just want to build around themselves first. They want to have probably a say in how it's being designed and stuff like that. So that's one of the obstacles that I see if this platform business is going to work out, right? So they have to partner with more and more car OEMs. This platform company have to partner with more and more car OEMs, basically. So recently, interestingly, I saw a YouTube video. So there are more brands that are compatible with CarPlay, which is Apple, and not Android Auto. So that's something interesting that I found out. I'm just sharing here right now. So okay, so basically it's a very very short sharing session. Wait, let me see how to get. Okay, sorry. Let me share one more time. How did I get? Okay. Anyway, so that was the end of my sharing session. It only takes 15 minutes. It's very, very simple, and it is not that I'm just trying not to share any numbers and companies. I just want to introduce this industry to you guys so that y'all can look at it from a different point of view. So I'm now looking at the questions. If you have any question, please just type in the chat boxes. Can you first define what is a connected car? So okay, so how Tan say that, can you first define what is a connected car? Basically, a connected car is a car that's connected. It's similar to a smartphone. Imagine that your smartphone is connected, so a car that's totally connected. That means connected to the 5G or is connected to a telecom, right? So as SRT say, guessing possibly cars connected with the network can be self-driven. That's the future. I think that's the future. I don't think right now that is actually happening right now. From what I see on self-driving, right? Like I say, Tesla and Google, they are the Tesla and Google. They are actually they are the bigger, I would say the bigger players in the self-driving form. So I would say that this is for the future, but we really don't know who is going to win in this battle. So or this war of self-driving industry. So let's just see as of now. No, I'm SHJ from SaaS to TAS, no transport system. No, we are not talking about that right now. I'm just talking about connected cars ecosystem itself. Okay. So Desmond asks if ERP is counted. I don't think so. I don't think ERP is counted in future. In Singapore, is actually talking about doing the charging the ERP in a different way. So that's another question that I don't have an answer right now. Howard Tan said, isn't it just automotive IoT? Yes, I agree. Connected cars can be automotive IoT. It is the same. I would say it's the same. There's not much difference. But what I'm introducing to you all is that there's this industry. Yes, it's automotive IoT or it's connected cars. Is that? But there's this industry out there that not a lot of people are talking about because everybody is focused on self-driving, right? So the hype is on self-driving, but but I feel that self-driving could be, still light years away, maybe 5 to 6 years, right? But this connected cars industry, right, it's actually right here, right now, and in the nearer future, this will happen. And when self-driving becomes the norm, the platform that's in the car will become the main driving force, right, for these companies in self-driving, right? This connected cars company, right, will have a bigger TAM, addressable market to tap on in future. Is there any pure play connected car player? Yes, there is. How will you compare the player in this industry? There's a few pure play connected car players. There's a company called I know a few. So there's a company called Sirens. It was a spin-off from Nuance. So y'all can check it out on the US market. There's a company called Telenav, TNAV. The ticker is TNAV. Sirens is CRNC. Okay, so I invested in this company. That's what I know about them. If there are other pure plays, I'm not sure about if there are other pure plays connected car players, because right now it's quite this industry is quite mixed. Like if a company is only in connected cars, right, it must be able to have a lot of partnership. So to be a very good player in this connected, to be a very good company to earn more money, right, you have to have a lot of partnerships with the OEM. So that's where it drives Serience is quite interesting because it provides, if any one of you has gone on to BMW, right, you know there's this wake up call called, there's this wake up voice called hey BMW. So that was a product of Serience, right? So Telenav provides navigation and stuff like that. So it was a mobile software industry, and then it transit to a connected car company. So there's still a bit of transition in between. But it's a bit hard to find a pure play connected car player right now in the company in the US market, or as of now I'm still not very sure about any companies that's more than this. So that's what I know of. Wouldn't chipset companies benefit from this demand? Yes, chipset companies will still benefit from this demand as well. I've shared that there's semiconductors as well and stuff like that. So but I'm not sure which one will be, which chipset company is actually going into connected cars. If I'm not wrong, right, there's this article on Intel. So they are saying that Intel Go is the connected cars. Eventually will be the chipset for connected cars. So that's for you all to do more research on. So I'm not very sure about that as well. Sorry. So it is similar to edge computing. Yes. Connected cars has to have edge computing in their system out there. So eventually they can be connected, right? There has to be edge computing within the car itself. So that's how it's going to happen. Yes, edge computing is one of the aspect of connected cars. Gentex might be the way to add in connectivity without influencing. So simple investors and so David asks if is there any key reason for choosing this topic today for presentation? No, there's no key reason. I just thought that this is very interesting that I just want to share. I'm not trying to share any companies at the start, so and no numbers as well. It's just introduction to everyone. So KY asks how high or low is the barrier entry for platforms of connected cars? So the barrier entry, like I say, the obstacle is on the OEMs are the barrier of entry, right? If the OEM doesn't sign a partnership with the platform, right, it cannot get on board. So that's what's happening. I'm not sure why more cars are currently more new cars in the world out there is using more of CarPlay than Android Auto. So I'm not sure about that, but compatibility is also a barrier of entry, right? So it all depends on how the car OEMs wants which platform to be their infotainment system. So that is the main barrier of entry, which is the car companies. But having said that, I'm not saying the car companies will eventually make the most money, because they are only the partner, they are only the person that's going to create the device, which is the car, and there's not much, they are not doing much changes to it, because they are just partnering with other people to get this car to be more connected. But to be honest, I don't think that they can try to sell a higher price for a car that's more connected right now than in the future, because of probably they can market it in a different way. But I don't think a car company is something that I'll look at right now. Daniel WY say aware of one company called Serience, which is in the yes, that's one company that it is, and they are pure play connected car company. Charles say that in today's market, which stocks aside from the big names, Apple and Tesla, is part of the supply chain for both software and hardware for this connected car phenomenon? Software and hardware. I don't think that there's a lot of company. Okay, in the hardware industry for this connector, there's also the Pioneer, that those Panasonic and stuff like that, and all these companies that's creating the headset for the cars. So they could be the tier 1, tier 2 suppliers, right, for this OEM car. So they are also part of the obstacles. But there is not much in this supply chain, right? For both software and hardware, I don't see there's much company that's doing both at the same point in time. If somebody wants to manufacture a car, there's very high barrier entry, because you need to have a factory that's, how long Tesla become profitable, right? So a company that has to spend so much money to create eventually a profitable product after so many years. So I think a barrier entry is that you know that for hardware in terms of connected cars is very hard to be in, especially when there's high capex. What do you think of Amazon with Alexa entering this space? Amazon, I just want to say again, Daniel, Daniel asked what do I think about Amazon with Alexa entering this space. I don't think Amazon is entering this space. The way they're entering this space is they're partnering with partners and using Alexa as the personal assistant itself. So that's how Amazon is doing it. How significant is switching cost for connected car platform? Sorry, Guo Hao asked how significant is the switching cost for connected car platform company. So to be honest, sorry, Guo Hao, can you explain what do you mean by switching cost for connected car platform company? You are talking about the platform, you are talking about car OEMs that switching platform, or maybe you want to explain further on that. If David asks if it's connected car gets into accident, whose fault do you think it is? The program or the victim? I can't answer you this right now. I think it's about self-driving eventually, and I wouldn't have any answer for that. Okay, so probably just one last question. Okay, so for SRT, drawing parallels right to cyber companies, do you think that complementary goods for connect car? Yes, cyber security players could be companies that is entering the connected car space. Yes, I agree. But as of now, I don't have any idea which company is it. So probably you'll need to do more research on your own. There are some company I saw on my research, but probably I'm not sure about the details. So probably you need to, for SRT, you need to look on it on your own, right? So I just want to summarize for connected cars, right? Imagine imagine Amazon is on infotainment. Imagine if you want to buy a coffee while on your way to work, and then you can just, or Chope is on your infotainment, and you just press a few buttons and you can choke a restaurant, you know, while you're on your way there. So that's how connected cars is going to be in the future.